Hi there, Gene Ginsburg, digital marketing expert, and I have Steven Rosenberg here. And today we're very excited to be talking to you. And we did a video about Snapchat IPO a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and we got a lot of awesome feedback. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for sending us emails and putting comments in the video. So, Steven, you have been doing Snapchat geofilters recently, so tell me a little bit more about that.
I've been doing that a lot more frequently now and learning a lot more about it in general. But, what's really exciting about the IPO and what I've been noticing is I set up my Google alerts for any stories on the internet revolving around that. And I've noticed the increase in stories on a daily basis. And I think it's very clear that there's going to be hundreds of stories from now until they actually launch their IPO. Some of them will be true, some of them won't, and a lot of different things. But actually being in the trenches doing geofilters for clients now, I've also been learning some things that are not necessarily headline news. One of those being with geofences and how they price that out exactly. So when you want to do a geofilter, you have to set a parameter of wherever your event's being held. We'll say a wedding, a date, a time range, from 5 p.m. to 2 in the morning, and the square foot location. And so you basically pull up a Google map, you circle that location, and then Snapchat provides you a price for what that's going to cost depending on how long you reserve it, and all these other factors. I'm guessing it's an algorithm of some sort, but there's no definite way to know what the price is going to be, which is very interesting. And one thing I learned yesterday, I was actually doing some research for a potential client that's having a huge, it's like a DEF CON for real estate agents in Las Vegas in 2017. And it's being held at one of the big Las Vegas convention centers. There's supposed to be 37,000 attendees. And
Wow, that's huge.
it's massive. Exactly. So I was all over that. And I called both the person in charge of the real estate part of it as well as the convention part of it. And I got on the phone with the head of the guy of social media at the convention center. And it was so interesting, our conversation, because what he told me is he said it's actually not very good for us. We're in a dispute with Snapchat directly because Snapchat, to reserve 3 days at this specific convention center, costs $10,000.
What?
Yes, correct. And he's like, this is our property, but it's like Snapchat is, they're in control of this magic, geofence stuff. This is their thing. And they were charging $10,000 for 3 days. And, is that an algorithm, or is that because Snapchat's well aware of the foot traffic that place gets?
Probably the the latter than the former, because I feel like everybody that I've spoken to who has done geofilters, and correct me if I'm wrong because you've done them as well, you're definitely more, in-depth knowledge of this, is that, typically everybody says it's like, oh, $30, $40 or something like that to run it for a few hours. So I definitely think they're hiking up the prices like 20-fold, 100-fold, because they know that they're going to be like 37,000 people in this convention center, all within a radius of less than a mile, like half a mile.
Yeah, so it was very interesting to me to hear that. But then I also got to thinking on the other side, I mean, isn't that what all marketers do eventually? I mean, that's what the billboard industry does. If you want this billboard space, it costs more than that billboard space. Or if you want TV commercials, obviously it's going to be more money for the more popular.
Yeah, I guess if you want a if you want a TV commercial during the Super Bowl, yeah, then it's going to be more.
Fair what they're doing? Is it fair what they're doing? I mean, I don't know, but I thought that was very interesting and pretty shocking to say the least. And so I just wanted to know what other people's thoughts are on that.
Yeah, and also if you have ever come across something like that, we'd love to hear your experience as well. Like, have you ever talked to Snapchat, or like, have you ever done a geofilter Snapchat and then gotten quoted like $10,000 or $5,000 for your event? Because yeah, it's because it's such a new technology. There's still so many things to learn about it, and again, we don't really know what these geofilters look like in terms of pricing. So if you have any experiences, then yeah, please post it, comment. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. So I just thought that was an interesting story. But anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, I'm just excited to see what this IPO looks like, and then I'm really excited to see what Snapchat rolls out as part of their advertising. I'm thinking it's going to be, on par with Facebook. Now, not right away, but eventually. I think that Snapchat and Facebook are going to be direct competitors eventually, and I think they're going to start rolling out their advertising to a self-serve platform, which is basically what Facebook is doing now. I know that right now they are working with brands directly, but that's more like just account management, one-on-one relationships with brands. But eventually, I think they're going to start rolling out advertising to self-service, like smaller brands and entrepreneurs, and I just want to see what that looks like. I'm really excited.
I'm so excited for it, and that's why I'm in the trenches now. Even though a lot of people think I'm wasting my time with it, I'm not, because when that switch happens, I'm going to be ready.
Yep, I totally agree. As we always say, get to know Snapchat now. And I've heard such pushback about Snapchat. It's like, oh, I'm too old to learn Snapchat. Oh, it's so confusing. Well, watch one of Steven's videos on how to use Snapchat, and I think we'll put a link to in the show notes or in the comments or whatnot. Yeah, because I think.
Like driving, it's like, well, yeah, you weren't born knowing how to drive a car, but you learned. Same thing with Facebook 5 years ago. People didn't get it, but now it's essential. It's just history.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think it's going to be on par with Facebook eventually. I get a lot of pushback when I say that. People are like, no, Snapchat, whatever. Like, it's small potatoes. And I'm like, I think you're wrong, because there is a cycle that I've seen in the last, since the beginning of the internet, because I've been around since, I've been a conscious being since the beginning of the internet. And I've seen these cycles happen. It happened with Google. It happens now. It's happening now with Facebook. It's starting to peak. And then eventually you're going to get a new platform, and I think the next platform is going to be Snapchat.
And the bottom line is that like Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't offer to pay them $4 billion for it 2 years ago.
Exactly.
And nobody turns down $4 billion unless they got something really magical under the hood. And so, yeah, I continue to weed out the noise of all these stories that I'm reading every day, contradicting stories, and go with my gut and go with what you said, history, and this is just another cycle, and I'm really excited to be on top, because the people that are, poo-pooing it to your face now are definitely going to change their tune over the next.
I totally agree. Well, we're going to refer back to these videos in a couple years, and we're going to be like, we're the ones that made the prediction. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, Steven. Yeah, this is an awesome video. Thanks, because it's always good to know what's going on, and having this inside scoop on, like a good example about this convention that you mentioned. Always good to learn kind of what's going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, you guys have a green day, and thank you guys so much for watching or listening.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Steven and Jean.